Good morning, everyone, and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. So thrilled to have you with us. It's the mobile Monica version. So we are at home with you today. And, we started this a couple of weeks ago. It just happened to be on a Wednesday, and we started calling it Workout Wednesday. So why not? We keep the fitness for you going on these Wednesdays. We've got Medical Mondays going strong. We've got our Workout Wednesday. We started a little Friendship Friday. And then on our Thursdays, we are out live with the community. And I cannot wait for this coming Thursday. Tomorrow, we have our return to the vault luxury resale. We are going to be in Brentwood live at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning with the beautiful ladies of the vault and 5 of our hand-picked models. Some of our viewers, some of my clients, some people I've known in the industry, they're going to be there tomorrow. We're going to show a before and after look, meaning they come in pretty much how they go around on a regular basis. And then it becomes the outfit they have during the day and how we can quickly transition that to evening. So we're going to talk all about that with our ladies tomorrow. Be sure to join that at 7 o'clock. Of course, always, if you ever miss a show, they're there for you and you can watch them at any time. But we'd love to have you interact with us and be a part of our live stream. Our show, of course, brought to you by our wonderful friends at Invita Health and Wellness. So we're going to talk about news you can use. We've got our weather forecast, and that's one of the biggest things that we wanted to keep an eye on. What's it going to look like here over the next couple of days? Well, I'm not going to bring that to you. Let's bring on our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. Good morning, Beckett.
Good morning, Monica. How are you?
I'm good. So I've got this little background behind us that looks a little ominous. I'm hoping that's not what's in our future, but we've been talking to you the last couple of days, getting ready for what to expect. I did see some rain out there this morning. What are we looking at for the morning commute today? And then is it going to get even worse tomorrow?
Today we're looking pretty good. Not a lot of rain out there, some isolated showers around, but we will definitely warm up today to around 78 degrees for a high. So that'll be very nice.
And is that, again, going to be a little bit more humid and then we're going to have a cold front moving in?
Yeah, so that humidity is definitely going to be going up through today and especially into tomorrow because when we do have those severe weather threats, we do need that moist atmosphere. So we're going to have those dew points streaming in, those warmer, higher dew points, and we're going to definitely see a very humid day tomorrow and a stormy day possible as well.
Okay, so I told you that we're going out to do that live broadcast tomorrow. You and I were texting last night. I was a little worried that we might have some issues, and you're saying that you think we should be okay. Is that right?
Yes, it should be during the evening hours. So if you're doing that in the morning, you should be fine.
Okay, but we need to be weather aware. So we're going to let you take it away, Beckett, and tell us what we can expect over the next couple of days, and then we're in the clear and tell us when that will be.
All right, so first thing we definitely need to go over here is that severe weather threat tomorrow. Not today, but tomorrow. We have a slight risk, 2 out of 5 risk. It may sound small, but it is something we definitely need to watch. Now, if you see down here, that's a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. This is a large slight risk. That means the Storm Prediction Center, who makes these outlooks, has made room for an extension of that enhanced risk that could possibly go into St. Louis. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but from what I've seen with the models, I think that's very possible because this does look like our first severe weather threat that really has a chance of producing some very severe storms that we really need to watch out for in the immediate St. Louis metro. Now, our severe potential, that tornado threat right now, it is not very high, but I do put it at a moderate because I've been looking at the models and it does look like that tornado threat is going to be something we really are going to have to watch out for. There's going to be some wind shear, and these storms are going to be the type of storms that could produce tornadoes. I'm not saying there's going to be a tornado, but it's something we need to watch out for a little bit more than, say, just a conditional small severe weather threat. Our damaging wind threat is also moderate, not very high, just a conditional damaging wind threat, but the hail threat is our highest threat. This is a more enhanced hail threat than usual. So we're going to have to definitely watch out for that. Put your cars in your garage, wherever you can put them. If you can cover your car, do that. Because if these storms do materialize and come into our area, they're likely going to have pretty large hail on them, and we don't want that hitting our cars. So definitely protect your outdoor things. Cars probably the most important. And then flooding is the lowest threat. So again, tornado threat, moderate. Damaging wind threat, moderate, and our largest threat will be hail. Now, let's time this all out on the severe risk timeline. As we head into the late afternoon, that's when we're going to start noticing that some storms may be into the distance. So I have a low threat. It's going to probably be coming from the southeast to the northeast or from the west to the east. So we're going to have to watch which direction they come from. But I'm leaning towards more southeast to the northeast direction. So say down towards Rolla, 2 to 4, that's when you're probably going to be dealing with those storms. Now, as we go into 4 to 6, that risk really jumps up as the storms likely are moving into the St. Louis area. And the time frame I have right now for the biggest threat for severe storms is 6 to 8 o'clock. Now, could that shift to 4 to 6 or 8 to 10? Yes. So just be weather aware, have multiple ways to get warnings during the nighttime hours. So anywhere really from around 4 p.m. all the way through midnight when you really need to watch out. 8 to 10 p.m., I think that's when our threat starts to lessen a little bit, and especially as we go towards midnight, I think the storm threat, the materials, the ingredients for storms are really going to lessen as, of course, we go into the nighttime hours. We see that a lot. So I think into the evening, before the sun sets, right when the sun sets, I think that's when we're going to have our biggest threat for severe storms tomorrow night. Now, our 7-day outlook today, we got a high of 78 degrees. Very nice with mostly sunny skies, low of 60, a low of 60. We're going to be lucky if we get that for a high early next week. Now, Thursday, tomorrow, we do have that thunderstorm threat tomorrow night, tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. Please be prepared for that. Again, have multiple ways to get warnings. And anything outside your cars, you do want to cover them if you can. 48 degrees for your low. And then as we go into Friday, that cold front comes through behind the severe storms. 58, around 60 degrees for a high, and cloudy, low of 40. So we're going down about 20 degrees from our low tonight. And then Saturday, 63 degrees, very sunny, but still a little cooler than what we're used to. And then on to Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, it will be 50 degrees. So if you're going out to the parade, definitely bring a coat with you. Mostly sunny skies, low of 30. So to Sunday night, that's going to be a night where you're going to want to bring your plants that you can bring them in, bring those plants in. And then into Monday into Tuesday, lots of sun. So early next week, it's going to be very nice, not lots of sun when it comes to that, but the temperature wise, it's going to be pretty cool. 45 Monday, likely our coldest day, low of 29, low around 30, and then 55 on Tuesday should be warming back up just a bit.
All right, wonderful. So again, you're seeing these really warm temperatures over the next couple of days, but a big change. And we have to keep reminding people we are only in March because everybody's like out in their garden. I see everybody trying to plant things. They're ready for spring and summer already. And there's your aha moment of the freeze and below freeze that's coming. So thank you so much, Beckett. Again, we're going to check in with you again tomorrow morning, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Be safe out there. And thank you so much for everything you provide for the show.
You bet. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well. That's aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore. And I know a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, he's so great. I'm a big fan. Love him. I know he is absolutely awesome. So thank you to Beckett. Now I'm going to give you some news you can use. And then I want you to be ready for our workout seniors. Okay. So this is really for everybody, anybody that gives up on themselves, anybody that thinks I can't do this or people don't believe in me. You know, I've been training seniors for a long, long time, and I just absolutely adore them. I actually pulled out some old pictures. Look at, I miss them so much. For a few years, I was training at Friendship Village for Dr. Willie, who used to be on our Medical Mondays shows. And a lot of them, they start out and they say, I'm lucky if I could probably only lift 1 or 2 or 3 pounds, Monica. Look at, I love Carol. That's Carol and Bill Tate and rocking it, doing some leg presses, doing some extension work, but their mobility was so very important. A lot of times it was teaching them the strength of the core so they could get up out of a fall, right? They're in their own apartments by themselves. Look at them doing some ins and outs for their ab work. That was actually on the final day before we had to wrap up the program. We had Pat there, just multiple people that just I absolutely fell in love with. And one of the things that I taught them over the 3 years we were together was you can do it, but do you believe? Do you believe we can do it together? I promise you, I will protect you and take care of you. Well, that's something we're going to talk about today. When someone believes in you, where can we take them? We've heard remarkable stories of people as they get into their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, approaching 100. We had a really awesome story that we did in 2023 of a woman who just turned 100 years old and what she was doing and exercising every day, still driving, still independent. Yes, do not. I said this in my text message, in my description today. It's kind of like Baby and Dirty Dancing. Don't put them in a corner. Don't say that they can't do something. So we're going to talk with Lucas Schroeder about this today, and that'll be be coming up for you in just a few minutes. Let me give you some news that you can use today, and weigh in as you're dropping in your comments of anything that you want to comment on Beckett, on again, our news you can use, and then everything throughout the next hour. We were talking about where it starts from a parenting standpoint, an education standpoint, about what's happening in our world with our young kids. Last week we were talking about that altercation at Hazelwood East, and that 15-year-old that was charged with assault, and the other teenager that was hit. And the video you do not want to see. Let me tell you, it won't leave your brain. That child is still hospitalized. That was from Hazelwood East. But did you hear what just happened at Jennings Junior High? A 14-year-old was stabbed and killed. We have two of our school districts dealing with this in just a matter of days. Folks, what's happening at home? Where does it start? It starts at home. It starts with parenting. It starts with keeping an eye on your children. It starts with being awareness, right? It starts with coming home. And I say this all the time, get back to the dinner table. Talk with your kids about what's going on. Are they being bullied? Can you figure out if they're the bully? Why does it escalate to this level? So our prayers go out to these families that are dealing with this, I should say, on both sides. And then every kid that has to deal with the loss of that 14-year-old or what's happening. And we're hoping that things turn around for the teenager that's in the hospital. So that's in our local news. Also, in our national news, it is official. Trump and Biden facing off in November with enough nominations. But have you heard? This is the crazy thing that's trending. RFK will be running as an independent, but did you hear who he's talking about picking as his running mate? He has to make that decision here in the next couple of weeks. Aaron Rodgers. Is this for real? I mean, they're looking at the pull of the celebrity, and it will definitely get us talking. Aaron Rodgers, but I also heard one story last night saying that he was also talking with Jesse Ventura. Do you remember the former wrestler? So there's his two possible running mates. Weigh in. Tell me what you think about that. In traffic news, 55 in Germania. The exit, by the way, is going to close for the next month. That's going to happen for you in less than 2 hours. So at 9 a.m. this morning, if you drive on I-55, the Germania exit is going to close. Also, have you ever been to the Illinois State Fair? It's a lot of fun. I went with Jim and my dear friend Julie and her husband Doug and my godchild Kylie. A handful of years ago, we went and saw Meghan Trainor, who, by the way, was phenomenal. Well, the Jonas Brothers are coming to the Illinois State Fair. Those tickets going on sale shortly, and I should say, will be playing on August 19th. And if you're looking for something to do tonight, it's a new thing at the St. Louis Zoo. It's called Animals Aglow. I've been seeing a lot of commercials and promotions for it. It looks super cool. That will actually be starting tonight, and then it will be Wednesday to Sunday nights for the next few months. So something new for you to do with your family. Animals Aglow. Very cool. It is 7:12. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to focus on working out, on fitness, on overall wellness. I promote the triangle of life theory, and I've been talking about this for many, many years, how important it is to believe in yourself, mental side, spiritual side, soulful, right? The heart coherence work that we need to do. And then the physicality of it all. Do not tell your grandparents or your parents, oh, don't do that. That might hurt you. Oh, you can only lift about 1 pound. You shouldn't even lift barbells or dumbbells. Oh, really? Well, we're going to change your mind today. We're going to inspire you to the nth degree. When we come back, we're going to talk about the multiple levels that they can go. Invita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Invita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Invita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Invita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online invitahealthandwellness.com. Well, welcome back on a Wednesday. It's March 13th and it's 7:14 in the morning. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Wherever you're from, do me a favor and say good morning. I love when you're dropping in the comments. Love to know where you're watching from. Every time we have a new guest on, they bring more and more people and say, gosh, I had no idea that this kind of a talk show was out there, bringing positivity, giving us enlightenment, right? Giving us hope. Well, all those things are going to happen on this show. Good morning, Terry and Julie and Linda and Kathy and Kelly and another Julie Julie, Tony, Bill, Sean. Yes, that was our What the Weather segment with Beckett. I know a lot of you love him. Sean said, I'm going to Dayton on Friday morning. Well, be safe, please. Good morning, Kathy. And yes, he is awesome. Julie Purcell, yes, it was wonderful to meet you yesterday, and thank you so much for the kind words. Carrie, good morning. Dawn O'Keefe, good morning to you and friends. Aaron Rodgers, I know. Go ahead. It's crazy to me. Michelle, I can't let go of the traffic diva. You know that. Good evening, Rosalie. Where are you watching from? A lot of people watching us from the Philippines, we have found out. And Beckett just dropped in there for you. Severe weather risk will be tomorrow. The timeline said today. That was a typo, he says. So just a heads up there. No severe weather is expected today. Linda says that's right. It starts at home. Parents have lost all control. We need parenting classes. Yeah, no kidding. Good point. Years ago, I worked with our school counselor and we did parenting classes in the evening, once a week for 6 weeks. I think that needs to come back. Linda, great point. Needs to take place at all school districts. Stephanie, good morning to you as well. Bridget, good morning. Home and can finally watch you live. Well, thank you, my dear friend. I went to school with Bridget. I haven't seen you in a long time. And Carrie, all right, love the shirt. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. Lots of new names here this morning. I love that. So be sure to come on, and I'd love to make sure that I say hi to each and every one of you and answer all of your questions. So I believe we've addressed all of you. Let's bring my guest on. So I want to thank Michelle. She actually found this on Instagram. She saw this really amazing video, and we'll be dropping some in this morning, talking about a 80-plus-year-old woman that was rocking it in the gym. And I was like, yes, go, go, go. I know that they can do that. But do you have parents and grandparents that you say, they shouldn't be doing that? That's not true. We're going to talk with Luke Schroeder. Is it Schroeder or Schrader?
No, Schroeder, you got it. You got it perfect. Thank
I want
you.
to make sure. Luke Schroeder. Good morning from Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, from Cincinnati, so not too far from you in St. Louis. I'll actually be headed that way in a couple of days. So Beckett's forecast was fantastic. I know what I'm walking into
I
at
told Luke
the end of this week.
I told Luke when he signed on about 20 minutes ago. I was like, "Oh, hold on. He might be 14, but he's going to wow you. He's incredible, isn't he?"
Yeah, he was fantastic. That guy's got a bright future. So
Yes.
it'll be cool to watch him in the
Yes.
future.
So you're coming into St. Louis for your daughter's volleyball, right?
Yeah, she plays club volleyball, so which means we as parents get to travel all over the place in supporting that. So we're in St. Louis, and then Louisville, Indianapolis, Columbus, down to Orlando later this year. So, but
Well,
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch her and then the team compete. So,
absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing that I love about parents being very focused on their children, playing a big role and doing
mhm.
the supportive side of the dad. So it's a lot of fun. I remember my dad going on all our soccer trips and we were all over the place.
Yeah, it's a full-time job for sure. So.
Yes, it is. So tell me about your background first before we
Mhm.
get into starting strength and featuring these wonderful seniors.
Yeah, sure. So my background was entirely different. I came from operations leadership roles in medical device manufacturing, automotive, aerospace, and as when I turned 40, I kind of came to the realization I wanted to do something on my own, start my own business, but it needed to be something that I was passionate about. Needed to be something that helped people. I know those were important elements for me. And I came across Starting Strength when I was in my late 30s. The book, which we can talk about if you're interested to learn more, and it had a huge impact on my life in my strength development and how I felt and alleviating back and knee pain that I had started to struggle with in my late 30s. And from there, I came across this opportunity for Starting Strength gyms. It's a really small company that's building these gyms. It's all based around the Starting Strength coach, which is a really rigorous coaching credential,
Mhm.
and giving more people access to these coaches that are in really, really high demand, and the focus being strength development. So I opened Starting Strength Cincinnati about 2.5 years ago, and since then have come on to do some work for the Starting Strength gyms team specifically as well, and have retired from corporate life. And now, I'm just kind of living my passion and helping people get stronger and improve the quality of their lives.
Absolutely. And very fulfilling for you, isn't it?
100%. So it's interesting. Like we're going to talk here in a little bit about some of our members and some of the people training in our gyms. It becomes wallpaper to us after a little while. Like we tend to forget, just how amazing what we're seeing take place in our gyms. And you can get a little spoiled being surrounded by a whole community of people that all care about their health, that want to be stronger, that want to do it for themselves, that want to do it for their loved ones, and that are all supporting one another in that journey. So it becomes, we see it every day, and so we kind of forget how amazing. Like when we post a video of Merce, deadlifting at the age of 96, it goes viral. And her daughter, who lives in Seattle, Washington, just randomly saw that come across her feed on Instagram. And she said, "Oh my God, that's my grandmother," right? Well, like, so, I mean, yeah, I think that reached 7 or 8 million accounts
Oh
across
my gosh, are
Instagram.
you serious?
Yeah, yeah. So it really, and that was posted over a year ago, and it goes through these cycles where it gets kind of picked up and blows up again. So, yeah, we get to see it every day, and myself and our coaches, we consider ourselves to be really lucky to be able to do this for folks, and very spoiled in the types of people that we get to work with, who are motivated and passionate, and believe that they can do hard things. We're designed to do hard things.
Yes.
It's the absence of doing these things that is where problems start to arise. So yeah, it's a fantastic environment, not just in Starting Strength Cincinnati, but in the other 24 gyms, around the country. And yeah, I'm just blessed to be a part of it.
So once again, if you're just tuning in, this is Luke Schroeder from Starting Strength Cincinnati. We're showing these videos, and one of the biggest things I want you to see here, and I think that's what people need to understand, is no, we're not telling people to go into the gym and try to figure it out on your own, right? Because that would
Correct.
be very scary. You can see the safety aspect. You can see the care aspect of being there with them. And so can you kind of walk people through that have never done this, and maybe they're
Mhm.
going to watch this morning and get inspired and say, well, maybe I need to be doing that. Maybe again, like a child or a grandchild might
Mhm.
say, well, maybe I need to be introducing my grandma, and I need to get them to be doing something similar to this. Walk them through how you ever get them to start to do the trust, that you see that smile on her beautiful face.
Yeah, great question. So you make a great point, Monica, and I'll say this: we all need it, right? It's strength, and the role that it plays in our lives is not optional. It's a prerequisite in order to live a full, sustaining, healthy life, and especially as we age, to be able to maintain our independence,
Yes.
to continue to do things that we love to do. Yoga is great. Pilates is great. We have instructors that train with us. All those things are wonderful. But if you really want to focus in on the thing that's going to keep you out of a nursing home, or it's going to keep you, we tell people you want to be able to pick your grandkids up even when they're 25. And the thing that will do that is strength. Strength is the single most critical element in those things. So we all need it. And it's so important in our lives that it should be treated like everything else. And everything else that's really, really important in your life, you get a coach for. So, for your financial planning, for example, you would get a financial coach to help you with that because it's that important. Well, this is your physiological 401k. The muscle mass, the bone density, the connective tissue health, all the things that you're going to want to rely on when you reach that point in your life when you can retire. And then, I like the way Dr. John Sullivan, who's a starting strength coach, put this. He said, when you have the opportunity to become the most fully actualized version of yourself, make sure that you've invested into your physiological 401k so that you can take a hike with a loved one, so that you can play with your grandkids, that you can continue to play golf long into your years. So, that's really at the crux of what we're after. And to your point, everybody can do this.
Mhm.
So our youngest member is 11. Our most senior member, Merce, in Cincinnati, is 97. So we have an 8.5 decade span in our membership. We have members in their 60s and 70s training 3 days a week. And so the coaching element, though, is critically important. So you say, how do you get people to do this? Because it's challenging, right? It's challenging to get somebody who has not been invested in their in strength development to believe that they could actually do this.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing that we can do is to share stories,
Yes.
and that's why I really appreciate you having giving me the opportunity to come on here and share stories about people that are doing it, and that are showing people that it's possible to get stronger at any age, and we really truly believe that. And the other important part is get a coach. We would recommend a starting strength coach, right? We're biased, but
Is there a
we
starting strength, by the way, in St. Louis?
there is actually there's one that just opened about,
Oh,
it's our 25th gym. It opened about 2 weeks ago.
oh, well, look at
Um,
this breaking news. Where do you know
yeah,
where?
it's over in the O'Fallon area.
Oh, O'Fallon, Missouri.
Yeah,
Okay.
O'Fallon, Missouri.
Well, look
So
at that.
yeah. So just number 25 that just opened, hot off the press 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We're really really excited about that, and it's all built around the coach which the Starting Strength Coaching credential is the most rigorous credential in the fitness industry. It takes about, relatively on average 12 to 18 months to become a coach.
Really?
It
Wow.
involves mentorship, coach development program, an actual platform evaluation where they have to fly down to Wichita Falls to the gym of the original author of the book,
I love
Starting
it.
Strength, and be evaluated by Mark Ripito and his team on their actual ability to coach.
Good.
Pass rate for that, I think, is around 20%.
Wow.
And then there's an oral board exam. So when you're working with a starting strength coach, you're working with somebody who is incredibly gifted and skilled in helping everybody get stronger.
I love it.
And so when you take somebody like Merce in our gym who's 97,
Mhm.
what separates Merce from a trainee that's in their 30s, they're both sapiens, right? They're both designed as your bodies are systems designed to perform certain movement patterns, and that's no different from Merce. She's designed to squat down and stand back up. That's how she's built.
Mhm.
She's designed to pick heavy things up off the ground. That's
Mhm.
that's how she's built. But what changes with age is the ability to recover from the stress that's applied.
Yes.
And so, what our coaches are incredibly adept at is knowing how to dose the stress appropriately, how to program all of these movements appropriately to make sure that we manage recovery that has to occur outside of the gym in order to continue to drive an adaptation. And so that is very individual, right? Individualized for Merce. Her training is going to look a little different in terms of how it's programmed versus, a 40 or even 50-year-old or 60-year-old woman in our gym, but she can get stronger and
Mhm.
she can train these movement patterns. So for people that want to get started, we would say, if you live in a city that has a starting strength gym, come talk to us. This is our passion, and we've got so many examples of being able to help everybody of all walks of life get stronger. If not, we offer online coaching,
Oh, okay.
and beyond that, if neither of those are options, then we would say find somebody, um, talk with them that is a trainer or a strength coach and get comfortable with, if they know what they're talking about, interview them like you would a financial planner,
Yep.
and then start and work with somebody who's a practitioner and an expert in this field and helping people get stronger. You can do it.
I just saw a question from Dawn O'Keefe. She wanted to know where it was in O'Fallon. I just looked it up for you. It's 2506 State Highway K. So it's on Highway K in
Mhm.
O'Fallon. It's in the plaza at Hutchings Farm. There you go, Dawn. I love the fact I didn't know that they were open. So Starting Strength St. Louis, gym in O'Fallon, Missouri. Beth actually just asked, can you refer me to a coach in Lawrence, Kansas that has this certification?
So yeah, there may not be a starting strength coach in Lawrence, Kansas, but I'm happy to look, and then I can pass that information on to you, Monica.
Yeah.
The starting strength coaching credential is so challenging to get that there's, the whole design beyond our gym is to give more people access to these coaches that are in really high demand.
Yeah.
I think at this point there's maybe about 170 starting strength coaches on the planet. There are some in Europe, and there's a few in Southern Asia. The majority of them in the States. But I'll happy to check on Lawrence, Kansas, but there may not be one there specifically.
Okay, well, thank you. Again, if you're just tuning in, you're just joining us at 7:30 on a Wednesday morning. We're talking about working out. Somebody said Wexercise Wednesday. That's kind of cute. I like that. All of you, we just want you to see the potential. See yourself in these stories today, and feel free to ask any questions. Lisa just said, I wish my mom and dad had done these types of strength training. They were so resistant to these things, and it's so very important. It is. I am
Mhm,
ridiculously blessed, Luke. You would be shocked. My mom just turned 86 last Friday. She looks like she's probably in her early 70s. She just
mhm,
turned 86. So she looks about good 10 to 15 years younger. But that woman, to all of my years from when I was a little girl, all I ever remember was her working out, her
mhm,
really instilling in us the importance of health. And she lifts every day. I mean, she's jumping on her trampoline, she's working with barbells, dumbbells. She gets me a little nervous sometimes because there's nobody there with her, but I'm just like, all right, be careful, mom. I mean, I know you're great. I know that.
Yep.
But again, I like the idea of someone, as you're seeing in these videos. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to show you more because not only do they have a woman there that we've been showing you, but there's actually a woman in Boston
Mhm,
that is absolutely incredible. I was reading about her and seeing her on her 98th birthday, deadlifting 100 pounds, folks, 100 pounds, but also what she was strong enough to go through. That is really the biggest and most important thing when we're talking about our health. What does that look like? We're going to have more with Luke Schroeder when we return. We need women to lift women up.
Let's do that.
Being on Monica's show, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Monica's very real, and she really cares about people.
She's changing lives.
Changing lives.
I think this is just really what people want to see.
Giving back so much to the community, and I really appreciate it.
Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with her viewers and her listeners.
Made the interview process like talking to a friend.
How are you doing? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Hey. You're close.
Monica. Whoa.
So go out in this world and be anything you want to be. But before you do that, first, be kind. Let's go, right? We need more of you to understand the importance of being kind, right? We have to look at our immediate families, our friends, and then I always tell you to go out of your comfort zone and say hi to people that maybe you normally wouldn't. And maybe sometimes you can do that in a health center at a focused attitude when so many of you are thinking the same way. That's where a lot of really beautiful friendships form. We are visiting this hour with Luke Schroeder, Starting Strength Cincinnati, and we posted the link for you for that one. But I love the fact that if we had set up our interview a few weeks ago, we wouldn't have been able to say that there was one opened up because it just happened. So I'm glad. I love the divine intervention aspect. So I went into the break saying this, Luke, this is just fascinating to me. This woman I'm going to show you on screen, this is actually a woman in Boston. So look at this picture on the left, deadlifting, 100 pounds on her 98th birthday. But the woman just turned 99 last year on September 18th. And then here's the thing, as she's getting stronger and stronger, one of the things that she said that she never wants to miss her workouts, but it was thanks to her daughter who actually enrolled her into the gym with her. And she's like, maybe for how much I love it, maybe mom would too. So she started going. But do you want to tell the story, Luke, about what happened just 2 months after she turned 99 that she was strong enough to go through?
Yeah, so Roseanne actually was diagnosed right before she turned 99 with a malignant tumor in her colon. She went into the hospital at the age of 98 with some discomfort. I'll post the story in the thread on the story that was written about her. But obviously, she on her intake form, I believe she told them like, hey, I just deadlifted 100 pounds a couple of days before, and there's this 98-year-old woman. So she immediately becomes a celebrity among the staff there at the hospital, and is constantly concerned in terms of, getting out of the hospital because she has a training session coming up that she doesn't want to miss. But when she gets diagnosed with the tumor, unfortunately, most people are probably going to be all too familiar with this. The prognosis at that age is generally not to do surgery, not to necessarily treat the tumor, because they're concerned with how, the patient's ability to recover through the surgery or their strength to be able to get through it. But Roseanne at the age of 98 was strong enough and capable enough and healthy enough that the doctors were comfortable to go ahead and do surgery and remove the tumor. And so that is very, very uncommon at her age.
Right.
But I think it's a terrific example that even in your 90s, it's possible to get and stay strong enough to be able to weather something like a severe surgery. There's a great quote in the book, Starting Strength Basic Barbell Training, that everything we do is based on. And we put this on the walls of our gym. We put it on t-shirts because it's true. Strong people are harder to kill. They are harder to kill. And so we want to make our members harder to kill. And a lot of times you might think that that's something as straightforward as fending off an attacker or something like that. And that's true. But it also means, what do you like Roseanne, what do you have in reserve in the event that you are tasked with a severe medical issue? Are you strong enough to weather that? What happens if you get into a car accident? Are you strong enough? We have a member at our gym, an awesome gentleman named Larry that is 78 years old and has been training with us for 2 years. And 4 months ago, 5 months ago, was hit by a car while he was picking up trash at his church.
Mm.
Car went off the road and hit him, and he was hospitalized in intensive care. And he returned to training last week with us
Oh,
after
wow.
a few months. And both he and his wife, though there's no real way to prove this, but we're all pretty confident that the fact that he was training for almost 2 years and that he was as strong as he was is the reason he's alive. He's convinced of that.
Oh,
So,
and wouldn't you be? I mean, both of us as trainers, I would 100% say that. Anybody, you are.
yeah.
And I mean, I've got women that I train that are, one of them's 4 weeks out from pregnancy. Your delivery is easier. You bounce back faster. There's so many
Yep.
levels of, it's not, I can't, we've got to strut. It is not about the aesthetics. It is not about looking in the mirror and going, oh, I look good. Well, that's great. That can be a bonus for you, but that's not what should drive you. It's this story. And one of the things in the article, so we did drop it in, so you don't have to, Luke.
Oh, great.
I think
Great.
Michelle put it in there and I put it in as well. So that article is such a beautiful article. And it talks about the fact that most people, if they would have found a tumor and then they would have said, oh my gosh, you're 99. Well, we can't do that. The surgeon was able to remove part of the colon along with the tumor. They said the only unfortunate consequence being that she has to live out the rest of her days with a colostomy bag. She went for 2 walks the day after her surgery and did not want to skip a beat with her training. She
Correct.
was back at it. That resilience is taught in you when you go through that. So yeah, we've been featuring different ones, but I'm going to have you, Luke, if you can do me a favor and just kind of walk through and tell us who these wonderful people are, because these are some videos from Starting Strength Cincinnati. And just, again, it's all levels. So yes, we're talking about the incredible seniors, but they've got all ages there, as Luke said.
Yeah. So, our average age of our member in our gym is 47, 48. And so you'll see, and we're about 50-50 male female in terms of our membership. That's maybe a little bit different in the split. This is one of our awesome members, Heather. Heather lost her husband to ALS
Oh,
a
I'm so
few
sorry.
a few months before she started with us. And, she has 2 young kids. Both of them are members of our gym now, her 2 daughters that train with her. But Heather, had been through this incredibly difficult time in their lives where she lost her husband and her parents lost her father, and she wanted to invest into herself and she wanted to do something for herself. The really important aspect, and I know anybody who's been through the process of training and getting stronger, like yourself, Monica, you know this. It's impossible to separate the mental aspects and the psychological and emotional health from the physical aspect of what we do in the gym.
Yes.
We don't believe humans are physically or emotionally or psychologically normal in the absence of hard physical effort. You can even see that quote on the back of the wall back there. So, for somebody who's been through something like that, applying themselves to getting themselves physically stronger and taking care of their health is one of the bedrock foundational elements towards, going through other really hard, challenging things in your life and helping you through those things. And Heather's a fantastic example. I mean, she's been a member at our gym for over 2 years, has gotten incredibly stronger. You mentioned the aesthetic benefits that come with this. Yes, strong people look better. That men look more masculine, women look more feminine, but that's not the reason we do it,
Right.
and that's not what we're focused on. It's a nice consequence, what we say, or a nice byproduct of focusing on the right things.
Yes.
And so, when women come into our gym, one of the things that we will typically tell them is, let's not look at the scale.
No,
Right?
thank you. Amen.
Let's not focus on the number on the scale. Let's focus on the number on the bar, and let's apply ourselves to getting stronger. And let's run through that process and give that 2 months.
Yep.
And then let's talk about how you feel.
Yep.
And do you feel stronger? Do you feel better? And the people that commit to that generally start to find that all the other things that they were looking for from a health program or a training program start to occur, but it does so in a healthy way and in a long-term sustainable way, versus looking at a number on a scale and causing yourself to do a whole bunch of really unhealthy things just to make that number look right.
Well, right, Luke, and again, men and women both do it, but women in particular, you give so much power to that scale, so much
Mhm.
power to what the number says inside of your clothes that none of us know what it is. So what if it's a size 10 or a 14 or a 16 or a 20?
Yeah.
You're not walking around walking in front of us and saying, "Oh, I bet you they're wearing a size 20." No, we're looking and saying, "Gosh, you look confident. Boy, you look beautiful in
Yeah.
that color.
Yeah.
Gosh, you got a great smile on your face. You just look happier." That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a woman in our gym. She says, I want when women look at me, I want them to say, I bet she carries all the groceries in one trip. Right. Like that's what she's after. So here's another great example. Another member of ours, Victor. Victor is now 72. He was 70 years old when he started with us. He's a day one member. Victor is a terrific example of the amount of progress that everybody can make. He was a cancer survivor.
Ugh,
He had been through and survived cancer, came out of that realizing he needed to be stronger, found Starting Strength, the book, and read it and started to apply the program and realized very quickly, man, I need a coach.
mhm.
And you talked about divine intervention. It was right around that time that we announced our gym was coming to Cincinnati. And so Victor was one of the first guys that signed up through our pre-sale and joined. Um, Here's a really cool thing. We have actual data in our gyms. At every single Starting Strength gym, we track and trend every workout through a digital logbook. We track everything that's done, and you can trend all your lifts and show the progress based on actual data, not opinion, not emotion, based on actual data from our members. Uh, the 65 and over men and women after 90 days in our gym are lifting more weight than the 18 to 44 year olds are on day one.
Mhm.
So Victor being a good example. Well, Victor came into our gym at 70 years old, and after 90 days, he's stronger than most average 30-year olds that he's going to pass, walking the aisles at Target.
Mhm.
His first deadlift was 65 pounds. His first squat was 55 pounds. Victor has pulled a deadlift in the mid 300s.
Woo!
He has squatted in the high 200s at the age of 72. Now, again, his recovery is going to be a little different at his age, and so we have to dose and apply this stress appropriately and manage his programming a little different than a 25-year-old,
Yeah.
right? Would come in. They can recover quicker. But working with coaches, the best coaches on the planet, we've taken somebody who, again, was pretty inactive and not terribly strong to one of the stronger people at his age that I've ever met. So
You know,
yeah, it's another great example.
so look, let me bring this up because I have a client. It's so funny. She came to me and said, "Monica, I've heard great things about you and I want to hire you. I'm 70 years old, but I do not want to be trained like a 70-year-old." And I said, "Well, you found the right woman. I've been training for 26 years from a 10-year-old to a 95-year-old. And I have
Mhm.
I love the connection that we have together. And one of the things that I said to her was, I believe in you, but you
Mhm.
got to trust me." So she's going to be coming over here in about an hour to train. She trains with me privately and then in boxing classes. Yes, she boxes now at the age of
Yeah.
72. She trains hard. She trains with the classes, does privates together. But here's what happened. Her friends have told her, because there's going to be the chatter around you. Well, let's talk about the level of that. Your family and your friends that are going to say, you should not be lifting those heavy weights. Answer that, Luke.
Sure. So, what a great question, and we get that quite a bit, and especially with older women, it would seem, and just for some reason tend to be told that you shouldn't lift weights. We love it when we hear you're going to turn into a man, or we're going to turn you into you're going to look like a man if you lift heavy weights, which is nonsense. Yoga is not going to make me look like a woman,
That's
so
right.
why would strength training make? So what we will tell is you're not going to lift heavy weights the first time you come into the gym,
Right.
right? What we're going to do is we're going to identify exactly where your starting point is, and we're gonna figure out an application of stress where the technique and the form of all these movements can be maintained, and then we're going to build up from there.
Mhm.
And we're going to follow a progressive process where we're going to stack all these accumulation of adaptations on top of one another over the course of a long-term training plan to get you stronger. Um, Bottom line is, if you don't lift heavy weights, you're not going to get stronger. Heavy is relative. Heavy is relative. So, there's Merce doing squats.
Yep.
She like we talked about, she's a sapien. She's designed to squat down and stand back up. Her body's designed to do that. We can modify all those movements so that she can continue to train that movement. We can incrementally load it and make it stronger. So heavy is relative.
Mhm.
It's relative to the individual. What's heavy for Merce is maybe not what's heavy for other members.
Right.
But if you don't apply enough stress to your body to force an adaptation, it will not get stronger.
Mhm.
So we would simply say, we're going to start you at a point that makes sense for you. It's not going to be significantly heavy. And follow this process for 4 to 5 weeks and let's see how you feel.
Mhm.
And at the end of those 4 to 5 weeks, if everything I have said is bogus, or if I was wrong, no harm done. We don't have any contracts in our gyms. So we simply say, if which is kind of unique about us, right? But we don't need them. We're confident enough in what we do.
Exactly.
So
I hate you're now literally, he's preaching the same thing that I cannot stand. And I will tell you right now, walk away from any place that's making you sign up and give an annual contract. That's
yes,
absolutely ridiculous because they don't care about you.
correct. We have no cancellation fee.
Good.
We have no joining fee. Our members just reserve a spot in their gym, in our gyms, that maintains their training. We do individual strength coaching in a small group. So you see some of these videos, you'll see other members in the gym, training together. Everything's individually coached, but you don't need a coach to rest. So while you're resting, members are chatting with other folks, and so that's how we take a starting strength coach and spread them out across more people. But absolutely, that I'd be very, very concerned about anybody that's trying to get me to join on they're trying to get me to sign up for a contract, not a gym at that point, right? And we like to also say, we're a gym, sure, but it's more like a coaching subscription.
Yeah.
So the gym's beautiful, it's clean, it's designed to go execute the starting strength model. But what you're really paying for is the ability to work with a great coach 3 days a week for an hour and a half, and just like your clients work with you, right? What they're really there for is the great coaching and the great support and working with an expert. So, and that's precisely what we offer. So, yeah, the contracts, that's not how we operate. If somebody starts with us and it's not the right fit, which is never the case, or if they're not getting results, which is never the case. But we always say, like, you're not locked into anything. That's how confident we are about this. So.
I love it. I hope you've learned so much today about, again, believing in yourself, whether you are a young child, whether you're a teen or you're on up. We're just showing you, again, this is possible for you. That could be your grandma. That could be you. Because I know I have all different ages that are watching. 99 years old. She'll turn 100 this year. And I bet you she's still going strong like that because of, again, at any point, in the article, which we dropped earlier, she actually talks about the fact that she didn't start barbell training until she was in her 90s. So at any point, and that's the thing that I love, Luke, before we wrap up, is that people many times in their heart and in their mind, they feel it's probably too late.
Yeah. And it never is too late. Unless here, Monica, I'm of the mind that everybody at some point in their life is going to come to the realization that they need to be stronger. The really lucky ones are those that come to that realization very early in their lives with lots of runway to do it. But even those that come to the realization and in their 80s and 90s, Merce and Roseanne being great examples, you have time to do something about that. You can get stronger, and you just need to make sure that you're maximizing the use of your time in the gym and that you're working with a real professional that is an expert in helping people get stronger. The people that go into a nursing home, there's still an opportunity for those people to get stronger. But what we would implore people to try to do is, before you get to that point, invest into getting stronger. It's going to keep you out of those. It's going to keep you out of the nursing home the sooner that you start investing. I mentioned a physiological 401k. That it's exactly that, but it's even better than your financial 401k because you can use strength while you develop it, right? And which is why it's so critically important and advantageous for us. So Everybody can get stronger. Everybody has got a starting point, unless you've got some serious acute contraindication to training.
Right.
Beyond that, you can train. Whether you're Merce, who's 97, we have several developmentally disabled adults that train in our gym,
Yes.
whose parents have realized they need to, they are, like we said, they are sapiens just like us. They are physical beings just like you and me. And so they are not designed to sit around in chairs all day. So they need to be stronger. They need to be healthier. And so their parents have, bring them to us, and we work with those folks. So everybody can do it. The sooner you realize you can and get started, the better off you are, and the more you're going to have in the bank to make withdrawals from later.
And how cool to have a grandchild with a grandma, a parent and a child together, working out together, being there, lifting each other up, keeping each other accountable, right? So again, Starting Strength. Luke is from Starting Strength Cincinnati. And we just found out that 2 weeks ago, again, there's one here that opened up on Highway K in O'Fallon, Missouri. So look it up. I'll tell you what, if I didn't launch, so I walked away from TV a year ago, Luke, and then started this whole brand. If I hadn't just taken on all of this, and if I just wanted to walk the path of training, I would take that on for the next 12 to 14 or 18 months that you said. I would love that, because for people who are as passionate about the industry as you and I are, we just want more and more and more education. So we are all the way up at the top of our game, but the most important part of a trainer, though, that you all need to understand is right here. Your heart is the caring, passionate part. And that's where lives are changed. I love what you're doing. I'm so glad that your viral video made its way to me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. The more people we can get this message out to, the better. And I appreciate the fact that you recognize the importance of it, that you want to highlight it on your show, that you want to spread this very, very important message to people. And maybe it's not somebody listening to this that ends up, making a change and investing in strength, but somebody that they love.
Yes.
A mother, a grandmother, a father, a brother. If you care about the people around you, get strong for yourself so you can be more useful to them.
Yep.
And serve as an example to them, in the hopes that eventually at some point it'll click for them and they'll make the investment as well. So
absolutely. And you want to tell them again, the author of the book, Starting Strength?
Yeah, Starting Strength Basic Barbell Training. This beautiful little book right here was written back in 2005. It's the widest sold book on strength training in existence, by Mark Ripito, who's the best strength coach on the planet, in my opinion. And he operates a gym down in Wichita Falls, Texas. So if anybody finds themselves down in Wichita Falls, Texas, you can stop by Wichita Falls Athletic Club, say hi to Mark, come in and check it out. But I would encourage people, if you really want to understand the whole philosophy and our approach to getting stronger, this is the book to read. So it's the most comprehensive analysis of human movement on the planet. So
I love it. Well, thank you for your passion. Thank you for what you're doing. Continue to do the great work in Cincinnati. And to all of you, I hope you heard the story today about believing in yourself, and it doesn't matter the age, just get started. We're going to take a quick break. We've got some information about some things coming up for you for the rest of the week and into next week. And again, the inspiration just continuing. Luke, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. And to all your listeners, I appreciate the time.
Again, Luke Schroeder, Starting Strength Cincinnati. We'll be back with more.
You are truly an incredible human being, and just what you're doing is so inspiring. This was really a cathartic experience for me. So I appreciate you, love you. It's been an honor to not only just be here on set with you, but just to sit in your presence. You inspire everyone around you, from your motivational speaking to your podcast here, to just being the human that you are.
It's just such a joy to be able to see you at this point in your career. Really following your passion, fulfilling your dreams, and encouraging other people to do the same. I feel that I've been missing out. I believe God places people like you in people's lives for a reason. You have definitely been a God wink for me.
I love that. God winks. They're everywhere around us. You just have to let them enter into you, right? Just feel the presence of the divine intervention, which again, I think that's all around us. Friends and family sending me ideas. If you, by the way, have a particular topic that you would like for us to feature on the show, I just put it on the bottom of our scroll. Be sure to always keep an eye on that because that gives you an idea of some things coming up on the show, events that we have, special shows that we have. If you have topics or guests that you would like to see on the show, feel free to comment or email me, as a lot of you have been doing, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. All right, we mentioned we've got some big things coming up for you tomorrow. I cannot wait for tomorrow. You know, I love my fashion. So back in the fall, we teamed up with the ladies at the Vault Luxury Resale in Brentwood. They loved the show so much that they wanted us to come back for a spring show. So tomorrow, we've got 5 women that we are going to showcase. Now, they're going to come in the way they normally walk around, the way they feel most comfortable. And then I'm going to get a chance to see what the outfits are that the wonderful stylist at the Vault put on them, daytime outfits that they can quickly transition to evening outfits. So that's what we need a lot of times, right? We're at work or we're running around. You get that quick phone call, you get a spontaneous text. Hey, you want to meet out for dinner or lunch, or it's gorgeous outside. Let's go to a happy hour or an event or whatever. Hey, you got tickets to the Fox at the last second. That way you try to do that quick little transition. Do you change your jewelry up? Do you throw a little scarf on, throw a hat on, throw a nice little jacket on? What are they going to do to change it from morning to night? Well, we'll find out. Krista is one of the stylists. We're going to be meeting with Diane for sure. I'm hopefully Laura will be there, but it's going to be so much fun as you see, hopefully, what you are able to do in your transitions when it comes to fashion. So if you've never been, we're going to showcase the Vault Luxury Resale in Brentwood, and it's going to be a live show tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., which, by the way, we can do from your business. If you have a business or you know somebody and you would love for us to take our show and bring it to your business or your event or your festival, just reach out to myself at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com and we will get you hooked up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget about our bonus show that we have on Wednesdays. It is time at 4 o'clock for Wet Your Whistle Wednesdays. Our sponsor is Defiance Ridge. The owner is Chuck Gillentine, and Chuck joins me today. It's funny because we had a Pinot Noir on set yesterday. We're actually going to feature the Defiance Ridge 2022 Pinot Noir at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So looking forward to that. If you have not seen that yet, we do 2 shows on Wednesday, and that's a lot of fun. We just kick back, get educated though, as well on the wines. And this particular one, it's actually something that Chuck said that he uses with many of their wines. So this winemaker makes all of their Oregon wines, their Riesling, their Pinot Gris, their Rosé, their Reserve Cab, which is phenomenal. They have a blend, a red blend, and their Blanc de Noir. It's a small family business that sorts the fruit throughout Oregon and Washington. And the vineyard was actually planted back in 1994, just south of Portland, about an hour from there. Very steep hill, he said. It's got this particular Pinot Noir has got a 93 point from James Suckling. So again, the experts with the true amazing palates. So we'll see. Remember, I told you in the past that I'm not usually a humongous Pinot Noir fan, but that definitely changed yesterday thanks to our wonderful guest that we had on yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's show, we had a little wine at 7 o'clock in the morning. This is going to be more happy hour time at 4 o'clock. Next week, we'll of course have our Medical Monday Ask the Doctor segment, and that is with our newest sponsor, and that is Mid-America Spine and Rehab, Dr. Sean Neary. He joins us at 7 o'clock in the morning. And then Sarah Franco, of course, our wonderful title sponsor with Invita Health and Wellness. I saw her yesterday. We've got some really wonderful things planned for you coming up in the spring and summer and later into this year. Anything that you ever want them to feature, by the way, on the show, reach out to me from a medical standpoint. We have my birthday show next week, and now I'm working on a couple of things. It is possible that we are going to do 2 shows that day. It depends on a particular guest that I'm working on. If this guest can't come on in the morning, then we may not have a morning and we may just save it for a special lunchtime show. I have a celebrity special guest that's going to join me at noon on my birthday for a special show. So join us for lunch that day because we're definitely doing a lunchtime show, but it's quite possible I might be doing 2 for you that day. What, by the way, would you like for us to do on my birthday? That's what I'd love to know. Any special guests that we've had on in the past that you would like us to bring back? Anybody from my family that you would like to have on that day? Weigh in. Let me look at some comments before we wrap up today. And I do also want to let you know, if you don't know, on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, we are on X and Instagram, as well as, of course, our Facebook and our YouTube. So multiple platforms. And that's why right now I've got about 48 of you on. I think on Facebook, it shows 18 on my business page, but we've got people all over. So tomorrow on Thursdays, we drop a new show on the audio, because I know a lot of you like to listen to the audio podcast. And I want to thank Michelle for always editing those for us. Tomorrow is a really powerful show where I get really emotional and I talk about my love and my support of our first responders. And I mean police and fire and paramedics and EMT and every level, when those men and women walk out of the house to put those uniforms on and lay their lives down for us. And we hope that they return. Well, we're going to go back to a story of a Herman police sergeant that was shot and killed, and how it just ripped me apart. I got very, very emotional on that. If you never saw that show, you'll get a chance to listen to it tomorrow. You'll hear the raw emotion in me come out. So that's tomorrow. Those always drop, by the way, at 8:00 in the morning on all of the audio podcast platforms. So once a week, you get the audio side. And then every day, if you are new to our show and you didn't know that, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., we do our live shows. All right, Carol Matrisi just asked me, what do I think of the new weight loss shot? Well, which one? Because there's so many out there. And by the way, they're not just all shots anymore. You remember we had a doctor on at the end of the fall of last year talking about how the weight loss drugs were going to be coming out in pill form. We can actually ask Dr. Sarah and go back into that, because I know Ozempic, semaglutide, Mounjaro, what else? There's many that are out there right now. And every day it seems like there's more and more and more that are coming. So what is the question, Carol? Which weight loss shot? And what do I think? I think that anybody is looking to change their life and is able to, get the weight off because you're stressing your organs. If you've got someone who is very obese, that is morbidly obese, that is over fat classifications, you're putting a strain on your body. I am not against it at all. I don't want you to use it and you think it's a one-time thing or multiple things, and you're not going to do anything about it with regards to eating healthier or working out. I don't want it to be that respect at all. So I don't want you to think it's a quick fix. Let's put it that way, which is what I'm afraid of. A lot of people hop on and say, oh, I'm just going to I hear about the shot that's out there. I'm going to do the shot and I don't have to do anything else. I can tell you, if you go into Invita Health and Wellness, they do a consult with you. If that's the mindset, they're going to change that mindset immediately and say, nope, then you're not going to do it. So that they wouldn't let you. I mean, you might buy it on your own, and that's a very unhealthy way to do it and dangerous way. But think about that. Linda, great show, right up my alley. Got to run. Okay, yeah, I'll see you at 4:00 as well. Just want to make sure we didn't miss anybody. Have a great day, everyone. Vic and Lizzie are on at 8. Yeah, so we like the little handoff that we go from our show, and you can watch Cancel This from my friend that was on with us, Vic Faust from, he used to be on with me with Fox 2. Love today's topic. Love working out. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody before I wrap up. I don't think I did. So yeah, I loved today's topic as well. Kyle, always wanted me to wear a hat. I've worn it on the show for you before. Kyle, you're just going to have to come to one of my broadcasts and then I'll do it for you. Kudos to Jackie. That was from my mom working out on a regular basis. I love that. Yeah, I think we say hi. And I think we commented to each and every one of you. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I do want to thank our dear friend, boom, Kathy Kilo Peterson. We're going to say that Kathy sponsored today's awesome segment. I know she's very into health as well and taking care of you. I sent an email to Kathy last night and said, I really want to address these things that are going on around Instagram and TikTok of people saying, what the heck is the deal with car insurance rates going up, right? So it's all over the news. It's all over social media. And I told her I'd like for her to come on and address that. So I know she was just coming back from knee surgery. So we'll check in on Kathy and see if she is able to do an interview with me, because I'd like for her, since she's our expert in the insurance field, to tell us what's going on and what kind of rumors are out there. And let's just squash some of the misinformation, okay? She can take care of you on every level, and I do mean every level of insurance, and she's not only going to care for you, but she's going to save you a heck of a lot of money. Kkilo.com, 636-561-6460. Kathy Kilo Peterson, again, State Farm Agent Extraordinaire. Thank you so much for everything that you do for our show. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Remember to share this. If you just are tuning in at the last few minutes and you missed the whole show, you missed a lot. You missed what people need to understand to believing in themselves. I'm looking at a lot of people that are on our Instagram, or at least signed on our X page, on my personal page. That's what I love about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is we are on multiple platforms. And I wish that was the case on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm hoping that will happen. I love it. Stephanie's off to a YMCA swim class. Yes, go get your physical side in, do the work, put it in, and remember to what you have on the inside of you. Make sure also that you're feeding the body properly, because you play a huge role in what happens in that whole triangle. Love you all so much. And don't forget, when you go out today, show kindness. God bless you all. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment, or online, EnvitaHealthandWellness.com.